Blaze one for the nation.
KCBR AM Monument, K253AH Colorado Springs.
It's crazy, you heard me?
The new Blazin' 98.5.
Good morning, sunshine.
Leave me alone.
Somebody woke up on the wrong side of the bed.
What's your problem?
Oh, I'm fine. I just need some coffee.
No, that's not it.
I think I know what's happening.
And what might that be?
Well, the results determine that you shouldn't manage people or interact with the public in any way.
I have the perfect job for you.
Social work?
No, professional disc jockey.
That sounds about right.
Okay, get the show started.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Sports Guy Mike Show on a Tuesday, June 2nd. Still can't believe it's freaking June already. Sports Guy Mike, Brandon Morrow, and Chris Braden in the house. Full house today. What's up, fellas?
What's going on?
Hey, Mike. I made it.
You made We're very ESPN-y right now. You know, we got our three. Looks pretty good right there.
It does.
You can always check us out on Facebook.com. Just type in the Sports Guy Mike Show. Go over there and like us. And then, of course, you can check out what's going on. On the program today, a friend of the show, and look forward to having him back on. It's been a while. We're going to have Robert Lital, and he is the creator, the editor, the man behind Black Sports Online, and he is now also the co-host of TMZ Sports on FS1. Is going to be joining the show here in about 30 minutes. So we look forward to having him on. But so with CB back, what's been up with you, man? You good?
I am good. I just, I got a lot of stuff going on. And
yeah, I see that. Uh-oh. We lost you.
Yeah.
Already. There you go.
There he goes.
Dude, that mic, you need it's either the mic or it's the connection. You just rip it out, have like one of those office moments with the baseball bat, like they did with the fax machine. That's what you need to do to that mic, bro.
He has bad luck with microphones, doesn't he?
Yeah, I have no idea. His video looks friggin' awesome.
Yeah, it does.
I just can't hear you. So we are exactly 100 days away from the start of the NFL, where, of course, if all this goes down correctly and everything goes the way they're saying it's going to go, we could actually have the kickoff September 10th, your Texans against the Chiefs, which, would be awesome, monumental, would be the first. I think it's going to be the first professional sport back because, I mean, with baseball, everybody's still, complaining about games and money. And, I don't know. And I love the NHL. And hey, more power to you. I hope you guys can figure out this 24-team freaking playoff. I just don't feel like I'm getting anything positive, anything concrete. Everything is still, well, if we do this will happen. You know what I mean? So yeah. I'm starting to wonder, do you guys think that the NFL season is going to be the first return to sports that we see?
I think it is, just to kind of say that we talked about it yesterday. The fact is they have their ducks in a row, and the fact that they've now come with a new, not just a short-term solution when it comes to return to play protocol, but they now have a 10-year new CBA that they just put together, there a couple of months ago. So
right.
At the same time, they were looking at the short-term purpose of the game to play a full season schedule coming up this year. And they were looking at the long-term effects, both economically and, of course, the integrity of the game to uphold too. And I think baseball is going to have a black eye on it right now. And it's the biggest thing for one of the most popular sports out there beside football that people know during the summertime. This is what we do, man. We go to ball games, we take our kids, we take our families. And I just think right now the NFL is showing that it could be the first professional sports to return to play protocol. I just think right now they're upholding, like I said, the integrity of the game. And I'm confident that, like you said, 100 days until we start the season, the Texans will be playing the Chiefs. And I think for the first pro-American sport now in North America to come back, I just don't see, even if baseball gets it done, even trying to reduce games now, you got to remember they have to have enough time for the postseason too at the same time, to play that out too at the same time. So I don't know. It seems like the NFL's executive committee, owners, players are willing to work together compared to the other major professional sports.
Tap that mic, man.
There it goes.
No, still not getting you. Dang it, man. Look. Oh. No. What's messed up is we can hear you moving it, but we can't hear you when you talk into it.
Now can you hear me?
Yes.
Look at
There
that.
he is.
Yes.
All right, TB, what do you
Dude.
think, man? NFL going to be the first one?
No, I disagree with that. In fact, I think the SEC will be back before the NFL. Did you see it here? I said
Okay.
I didn't say NCAA.
Well, I said professional. So
okay.
Look, go ahead.
So,
Go ahead.
I'm going to tell you why. The NHL is going to be first. The NBA is going to be second. Baseball is going to be sitting around licking its wounds, and I'll tell you why. They are like right now. I could really give a damn, and you know me, I'm a huge Dodger fan. I love the Dodgers. We have Mookie Betts for 1 year. Is it going to be 50 games? Well, like, what is it going to be? At this point, I really don't give a damn, and I think they need to get smart because let's look at just Colorado. Gambling is legal in Colorado. Yep. You know what? I care less about stupid NASCAR. Like literally, I'll watch the first part of the race in the last 10 laps if I'm around.
Sure.
But now I can gamble on head-to-head guys.
Right.
I didn't know. Dude, how awesome is that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Baseball, it totally pulls me in. And like, I don't care about the race. I just want Jimmy Johnson to win or whatever. I picked it that day. But what I'm saying is I think baseball, they're getting into this pissing match over money and everyone's out of work and everything. NHL is going to come back. I think the NBA is going to figure it out and come back too. Baseball's got this window right here where they could be the feel-good story of the country, and they're not doing it. So right now, whatever, baseball, go away. NHL's coming back. I think the NBA will figure it out. I'm excited for football, but let's be fair here. The NFL, out of all the major sports, is the one that was least affected.
Sure.
Like their season was over.
Mm-hmm.
They're in the off season. They
Off-season.
can figure it out. Yes, it's kind of a pain in the butt. They can't work the draft, the whole nine, but literally their season hasn't been infected at all.
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of what my thought process was. Look, I honestly think we're not going to get baseball, and it pains me because I love it. And both of you guys know how much I love my Yankees. It's just I just don't see them coming to an agreement, and if they do, I almost feel like it's going to be too late. I agree with Chris in the sense that I think NHL might find a way. They need to hurry up and find these hub cities, though. Because if they don't, then they're not going to make it back either. The NBA is a wash. You can forget it. The NBA is not coming back. I don't think there's even going to be a tournament. I think eventually what's going to happen is they're going to have to succumb to exactly what I said. They're just going to have to give the trophy to the Lakers. It'll be an asterisk, whatever you want to call it. And look, the NFL has more time to figure this out. Even with the June 26th, which is technically the end of the offseason, okay? So at that point, I think more moving pieces are going to be going on. I think they're going to, right now I think on Friday, they're supposed to be letting coaches back in the facility. The facilities are open and they're opening up more as they go throughout this week. But, the NFL has 100 days, at least until the technical opening of the season. So they have more time. And like Chris said, they weren't affected by it like the colleges were. Like basketball was just so, harshly abrupted and said, nope, we're not doing it. You guys got to shut it down. So the NFL didn't have to deal with that. The one side, the thing for the NFL is they only have one side of the problem, and that's starting back up. Everybody else got shut down and now have to figure out a way to restart. That's a two-sided problem. The NFL has only got a one-sided problem. They just have to figure out with health restrictions and everything that they have to, the guidelines with CDC, that's what they have to make sure that they put in play properly so that these players can come back to coaches. Because right now, especially some of these new coaches, wow, you want to talk about being behind the eight ball? Those three coaches just in the NFC East alone are fighting an uphill battle because these are brand new coaches that haven't even had a chance to meet their team yet.
Yeah. It's good. It's going to happen. It's funny too because with everything that's going on, no one's talking about the COVID. It does like I haven't.
Right.
I went into the store I don't think people, at least in Colorado Springs, Colorado, they're not afraid of it anymore.
I'm starting to see that too.
I know I'm not.
I'm not either. Here in Texas, it's becoming more loose now. You got the governor, Greg Abbott, saying professional sports could have returned as of May 31st. And we talked about this last week. What professional sports? Greg Abbott?
Right.
I mean, outdoors, indoors, it don't matter. There's nothing to approve right now. So they can sit there.
Badminton?
I guess. I don't know, man. So like I said, Summer Olympics of 2022. I don't know where it's going to come from. I'm just trying to figure out now it's time for, I think, and I know, we get comments all the time on here, but I think the more you read about these articles, man, baseball's too concerned about money. They're not concerned about COVID or the fans or nothing like that. Something would have got done already. It's all about money. Those players are money hungry. They want to take care of their families and stuff like that. I get that. And if they don't want to play, then sit out. And my problem with Manfred is pay the guys that want to play. The guys that don't want to play, to hell with them. Let's send them home. Let's go play, man.
Let them stay home.
10,000 fans in the seats, spread them out at 6 feet apart. I know we're not going to have fans to start out, but man, let's get a product back on the field.
Yeah.
Because if not, you're going to lose double your money and you're $10 billion in your sport. You're already going to lose $4 billion just in ticket sales. That's my problem with it.
The funny thing. Go ahead. No, I was going to say, I read what Ronnie said. I'll let you say it.
Yeah.
The funny thing is about the COVID thing. So I have to go in for these blood tests every year, being my age. And he's like, hey, Chris, do you want to do a COVID antibody test? And I was like, I can do that.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. And I go, so like, you just have these. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like,
yeah,
well, heck yeah, I'll take it.
Right.
Like I'm like, you sit here and you watch the news and you're thinking, oh my God, this is like far reaching. None of us can do this.
Right.
You can literally go to your doctor right now and ask for one. And I didn't even know that.
Yeah. I found that out last week. My wife is in the medical field and she kind of let me know about that because I'm the type of guy, if I know that I'm that guy that it's like, okay, you're good to go. You won't, you don't have to worry about it. You have the antibiotic, whatever the case may be. There's a test that I can take that lets me know that I'm good to go or not.
Yeah. Then it's on like Donkey Kong.
Right. Then you tell me, hey, Mike, you know what? You're good, man. Or, hey, you had it or, whatever the case may be. If there's a test that's going to let me know that I'm good to go, and then I get the results back and they go, hey, man, you're all right. Oh, dude, I'm golfing every day.
There you go.
And I'm already doing that.
I know you are. But it's crazy. And, something else, a big game, the Notre Dame Navy game. This is a game I love to watch every year. And, being a former Marine and, being part Irish, I know I don't look it, but this game was supposed to be in Dublin on August 29th. And because of the coronavirus pandemic, they're going to, they're not canceling it. What they're doing is they're actually moving it to Maryland. So it's going to be at the Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium in Annapolis, Maryland, most likely on Labor Day weekend. And Notre Dame announced that today. So, we're already starting to see a lot of things being moved. They've already canceled all the overseas games. Is that within the best interest of, say, the schools, the NFL? Is it going to be a hot minute before we have sports overseas again, Chris?
I don't know if it's going to be a hot minute because they've actually beat us to the punch. Like the Bundesliga is going, the Premier League. We all watch Korean baseball now, so I think they're a bit ahead of us as far as that goes. And you know what? I got to be honest with you. The fact that those soccer players who are prima donnas anyway.
Oh yeah.
And I'm a soccer guy. We're able to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
It's like shame on you, Major League Baseball. Shame on you, because you that's the similar money. But I think just the travel part, and you just don't know. But I don't think it's the end. I think just maybe this season. But I think having that game in Dublin, man, come on now, how awesome is that?
I know. I know. I could imagine. Could you imagine being those kids that were looking forward to going over there and being a part of this in Dublin? That's gotta be crushing. That's gotta be soul crushing, Brandon.
It does too. And I think eventually, like you said, I think they're just a little bit ahead of us. I agree with Chris on that point too. And I think, as the years go by, once a vaccine is found for this thing, man, at the same time, we're going to have global sports once again. MLB does it. NFL does it, of course, playing in London. we're going to keep seeing this. The colleges are going to go over there because that's a money thing for their campus too. Anytime they can make money and get a good payday out of it, it may take another 2 or 3 years. But right now, everybody's practicing the precautionary reasons out there too at the same time because of this thing still going on. It's not going to fade away anytime soon. So yeah, it sucks for the players and their families going over there and experiencing the culture and stuff like that. But we got to still practice. Being close to home, and if we need immediate treatment, like Chris said, man, if you got a test, go take the test.
Do you guys support the overseas play in the NFL and the MLB?
I like it. I think it's a fantastic thing, a way to globalize the game, and I mean it's a fun thing. It's like I said, it's tough, like Chris said, travel on the players and their families and stuff like that. But I know what's great about what they've done recently over the last few years for the NFL. Speaking of, they play a game on a Sunday in London, they get the bye week the next week, so it does give them time to rest in 2 weeks to come back to play again. So my thing is, I support the global play, especially for the NFL, and I think all sports are going to get to that point at some point, and it's a good moneymaker for them.
Chris, are you for it?
There's only one reason I support it, and it's because I like waking up on Sunday and there's a game on.
Okay,
that's pretty cool.
Like super
it's
early.
Usually the Jags, but if I'm a player, I hate it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I think it's just ridiculous because what are they seeing out of it? What's the benefit for the players? Are they like monetarily? Are they going to sell more? Like, I don't know what's in it for the players. It's a total money grab for the owners. But yeah, man, I don't mind it. More football is better. Except for that Thursday night Mountain West game that starts at 11. Yeah, you can take that one.
Yeah. See, now you talk about more games too. So obviously there's going to, there's the new CBA in play too. So there's going to be more games. But for me, I think it kind of throws these guys off. For us, like you said, I agree with you in both those aspects. It's great for us because it's more football. But at the same time, you got to think, what kind of a wear and tear is that on a player? You know what I mean? The travel alone is going to kill you. So you're out of your element. They never go over there with long enough periods of time to actually get acclimated to the weather, just all of that. It's never enough time. And you can kind of see it in the play. You really can. Some of these guys are not on the top of their game, and it kind of hurts the product a little bit. I'm not saying I'm not for it, but I'm not against it either, if that makes sense.
My daughter went over and played soccer over there for 2 weeks in London. And she said it took a good 5 days and it wasn't really like there was nothing wrong with the fields or anything. Right. They played. She goes, I just didn't feel like myself. And I think, you know what I mean? Whatever that is, body clocks, I don't know. But I totally believe her because she's a baller. And she's like, it just took me a few days. And then when she was sad to leave because the competition was way better.
Right. All right, y'all. Keep it locked. We're going to take a quick break. Sports Guy Mike Show. And we're going to have Robert Lital from BSO and TMZ Sports joining the program here in a little bit. So keep it locked for that. Don't go nowhere, y'all.
Adult Youth Swanson Counseling is a licensed and accredited OBH treatment facility providing people services in the criminal justice system for over 6 years. Adult Youth Swanson Counseling is located on 1826 East Platte, on the corner of Platte and Union, where the counselors are not only licensed and accredited, but also have life experience. They offer court-ordered DUI classes and any mandated court-ordered treatment. Use the promo code RADIO and pay only $20 for your initial intake fee for level 2. Adult Youth Swanson Counseling, where we help you feel better so you can get better and live a successful life.
Are you a first-time home buyer having trouble finding the right realtor that fits your needs? Well, look no further. Call Brandy Mendones with Keller Williams Clients Choice Realty at 719-291-4678. Take a journey into real estate with a top-notch company and a top-notch hands-on realtor that has your real estate success in mind.
I've been in the Colorado Springs area for 14 years, and I love experiencing everything the beautiful state of Colorado has to offer. I've raised my children here, and with would love to help you find your next home in Southern Colorado.
Call Brandy at 719-291-4678 with Keller Williams Clients Choice Realty, where
home and happiness happen. Let's
Having car problems? Maintenance coming up on your vehicle? Don't gamble your money away at other mechanic shops. Come to All Service Auto. At All Service Auto, you get the quality workmanship and parts that you demand. Professionals at All Service Auto strive to make your experience the best you've ever had, from beginning to end. Everything from engine replacements to tire rotations. All Service Auto can get your vehicle back on the road and driving like you want it. No job is too big or too small. All Service Auto works on all makes and models, making them your one-stop mechanic shop with affordable prices and customer service that is leaps and bounds above the rest. Make your first choice All Service Auto, located at 3455 Shelton Loop, right near the intersection of Platt and Shelton. Call to set up your next appointment at 719-573-0292. Taking care of vehicles and the people who drive them. All Service Auto. Call now, 719-573-0292. All Service Auto.
due to recent events with COVID-19, Liberty Tax now can do your tax return remotely. Give them a call at 866-871-1040 or visit them online at libertytax.com. Type in your zip code to find your nearest Liberty Tax office today. That's 866-871-1040. Liberty Tax, where you do life, they do taxes.
When you bring your taxes to Liberty Tax, we'll handle it. No matter what you throw at us, no matter what you need, no matter what. And we're so confident we'll do a great job. You'll want to bring us your friends, your family, your loved ones, your neighbors, your co-workers. You may even want to bring us everyone in the world. But please don't. We're not staffed for that. Liberty Tax. Bring it. We'll handle it.
Are you looking to get away this summer? Give Venture Travel and Tickets a call at 719-357-7510. Whether you're looking for airfare, hotel, car rental, or even all-inclusive vacations, you need to contact Venture Travel and Tickets at 719-357-7510. Book your vacation today with Venture Travel and Tickets, the best way to get away.
Blaze one for the nation.
KCBR AM Monument, K253AH Colorado Springs.
It's crazy, you heard me?
The new Blazin' 98.5.
Now you can smell just like a rock star with Axl Body Wash. Axl Body Wash will make you want to jump on stage and rock. Now available in 4 unbelievable smells. 80s bandana, welcome to the bunghole, always tardy.
Thanks to the land security, I'm going home.
And junk food supersize me. Axl Body Wash. You won't smell like a rose. And coming soon, Axl Body Spray. Axl DC version.
Welcome back to the Sports Guy Mike Show right here on 98.5, 95.7 AM 1040 KCBR. Sports Guy Mike, Brandon Mall, Chris Braden hanging out with you on this Tuesday. Thanks so much for hanging out with us, making us a part of your day. When do you guys think concerts are going to come back?
Well, I tell you, for Texas, they're already kind of starting to come back at the limited capacity. The artists I talked to over the past few weeks, they're getting their gigs again. So, I mean, full-length concerts at the major amphitheaters and, like I said, the major sporting venues, that's going to be a while. I know they're getting a lot of the local bars here in Texas and stuff like that, too, so they can get their,
venues,
their money, small venues. But I think the bigger ones now, we can't even get professional sports back, for God's sakes, much less the big concerts at the big
Could you imagine if
stuff.
they somehow finagled some big concert before they did a freaking pro sporting event?
Wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't.
Dude.
You know what? It could happen. It could happen.
You're right. Yeah. You're right.
Brandon, you're being from Texas. Like, what's Kenny Chesney doing this summer? Holy cow, man. He's got to be going crazy.
No flip-flop tour.
No flip-flop tour. Yeah, something like that. But I don't know. I hadn't heard much, like I said, there's not much. Like I said, our segment yesterday, the Nashville segment I do too, we were still waiting on, some of them have still had to cancel the concert tours that they had too. So right now it's pretty much take what you can get and just kind of wait it out,
Speaking of canceling, one of the best, probably one of the greatest pound for pound UFC fighters of all time, is talking trash about maybe walking away. John Jones, a longtime UFC light heavyweight champ, tweeted on Sunday that he plans to relinquish the belt and take time off from the octagon. And sources told ESPN Harel Hawani that Jones is serious and that this is his real stance. He said, Bones out. When you see me in the street, just call me JJ. Now, you know I'm going to go right to Chris with this one. What do you think about this, bro? Do you think that this is for real? Is Johnny Bones Jones going to walk away for a minute because him and Dana White can't figure out money issues for the next fight?
Let me tell you this. I'm going to say what Dana White said. I don't give a damn what John Jones does. And let me tell you what, there is not a person on the planet has stood behind John Jones more than Dana White has.
Oh, yeah.
What he has done to tarnish the UFC over those years is like, I can't even think of anybody that comes even close to that. If anybody does anything like that, they're out of the UFC. Now, that being said, John Jones is one of the best fighters of all time. But how great is he when he's not on stuff? Like, we don't know. Like, let's be honest. Like, we just don't know. I love watching John Jones fight, but the UFC is going to move on. It'll be fine. Nobody's going to feel bad. I'm still going to buy every pay-per-view. I'm really frustrated with him. And I want to stay on his talk. Did you see the video of him taking away the spray paint and stuff?
I did. It was on TMZ Sports, and I think he was in Mexico City or New Mexico.
He was in Albuquerque.
He was in Albuquerque. And
I love that.
For being idiots. And he went up, and there's a video of it. He literally went up to the guy and said, "Stop being an effing idiot. Give me the spray paint cans now."
Thank you. And it's funny because I see this John Bones Jones. I'm like, man, this guy's come a long way. Because when he first came out, I freaking loved him. Like, everything about him. And I think he's a good guy. And I think he's maybe tamed some of his demons. But let's be honest. If I don't buy the pay-per-view because John Bones Jones is on it. The only reason I buy the pay-per-views because of Conor McGregor is because everybody he brings, it's a spectacle. It's freaking crazy.
Oh, yeah.
All those Irish people in the arena singing. Like, dude, this is a whole nother ball game.
Oh, I
know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, when John Jones comes in, you're like, I wish Daniel Cormier could have fought you in his prime, and we could have seen who was really the better fighter, which
Right.
John Bones Jones probably was.
Oh,
so like,
absolutely.
It's UFC's going to be fine, and I hope that John Jones decides to make amends. But whatever, if he goes to another place to fight, I probably won't watch. Like, I really won't care.
Yeah. Don't go to Bellator or anything like that, Brandon.
Yeah.
Look, man. Look, Dana White's one of the most successful businessmen of all time. The guy knows money. He knows the UFC. He knows his product. And I think when you know your product, you can sit there and say, I'm going to have relationships with these guys and personal things. But when it comes down to it, man, it's all about business. It's all about money. It's all about what can you do for me? What have you done for me lately? So my thing is, look, I mean, guys walk away from it all the time. You've seen Brock Lesnar go to WWE and come back and do these little one-shot fights and stuff like that. Ronda Rousey, I want to try WWE, but I'm retired from the octagon here and there. But do they ever officially retire? Hell no. They guess they put a big payday in front of their face. They'll sign on the dotted line. And like I said, with great power comes great responsibility. We've heard that before too. So, I mean, look, it's a business thing. We're not in it to be your friends or anything like that. We're in to pay you to put on a product and get people to spend $60 per pay-per-view, which I'm with Chris. Look, I love the UFC. I love combat sports. I trained in Taekwondo and Jiu-Jitsu too at the same time. So I love a good fight. As long as it's not boxing, and I'm not going to go there too at the same time. I stopped buying those from years back. But let me say this. Look, Dana White knows his product. He knows how to pay guys billions of dollars. He gets a lot of sponsors to run his product. So, look, I'm with Chris on this too. They can sit there and have a bad relationship, and we're not friends and blah, 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 and he's going to walk away. But honestly, look, Dana calls him up and says, hey, I got $8 million or $10 million for you to come back for this fight. John Jones is going to say, I'm back in the octagon.
Well, first, let me say I'm with Chris on I am a huge John Jones fan.
Mm-hmm.
I've followed his career since day one. The guy being from New York, he's electric. I was just like gravitated right towards him. And the crap that he's done outside that octagon has completely done more damage to the UFC than it has to him.
Mm-hmm.
And like Chris said, anybody else on that roster that would have done half the things that John did, they would have been gone, excommunicated. You're not coming back here. But John brings more money, more eyeballs than anybody other than McGregor, quite frankly. But the thing with the whole UFC, and first of all, boxing is my first love. I love boxing. The problem with boxing now is it's not like it was when I was growing up in the 80s. It just isn't. So I have this. But I will tell you this. I have a hard time believing. Will he give it up? Sure he will. He's going to give it up. He's going to go away for a couple months, and then he's going to be right back in Dana's office. We're going to have a gigantic return to the UFC of John Bones Jones, and he's going to get all he's doing is pushing the big payday down the road. That's all he's doing. By walking away, he's giving himself some more time off, and he's being able to now have the leverage to go back to Dana and go, all right, I'm ready to come back. What's Dana going to say? No? He's going to go, okay, let's set up the fight, and it's going to be even a bigger payday than if it would have been against Dominic Reyes or whoever. It's just going to be, he's just kicking the can down the road to get that gigantic payday in 6 months from now.
Dana's going to be like, yeah, I knew you were.
Right.
Do you know the funny thing about John Jones? I wish he could cut down and go fight like the Diaz's and stuff like that. He's just too big of a human being.
Man. Yeah, he's
like
too
there's
big.
nobody that can really like who's gonna handle John Jones like right now?
Dude, he is a massive man. You know, and the other thing you had made a comment about him and DC fighting. Let me tell you something. DC and John Jones aren't even in the same category, in my opinion. And I don't want to go off on a tangent because I am not a DC fan. I think he talks more crap than he does in the ring. He's had some very impressive fights in his career, but he is not the man he thinks he is.
I don't know. I'm going to disagree on that. I don't think he's as naturally gifted as John Jones, and I think John Jones would beat him 9 times out of 10. But I will say Cormier – dude, he's a UFC Hall of Famer. Like he's
I don't want to
one
pay
of the greatest
$70
combat
to see a fat guy fight. I don't.
Dude, but it's funny because like he's not really fat. He is
fat, dude.
But dude, some guys, that's just their body type. Look at him. Like I don't even know if he's 6 feet tall. I mean, he's like a tank.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But he doesn't impress me, dude. He just
he would impress you if you got in the octagon with him.
Yeah, I'd get in with a bat or a gun. He's not going to beat me that way.
I don't know how much good that would do you if he gets a hold of you.
I don't know.
I'd pay to see if I get in the octagon. I would.
I don't want to spend my hard-earned money to watch a guy that was supposedly training all this time, and he gets in and he looks like he just ate a box of donuts. I don't want to see that.
I will agree with you that I don't like fights like that. I don't. Like, they're boring. That's with Gaethje, man. He's a great wrestler too, and he uses wrestling to stand up. Cormier is the exact opposite. He wants to get you on the ground.
Right.
And yeah,
no,
it's boring as
all
hell.
over you.
Yeah, dude. Have you ever had someone do that to you? It's gross, and they're all sweaty.
No.
Yeah, dude. It's freaking nasty. Dude, it's not fun. At least in jiu-jitsu, we wear gis. Right? And if the gi comes off, I'm piecing out.
Yeah.
Well, see,
I've had it happen to me too.
I like boxing.
Yeah.
I ain't got to roll around on the ground with you. You can stay your distance. You know, we can practice social distancing in the ring. I just knock your friggin' clock, and we ain't got to worry about rolling around on the ground and getting your sweat on me, and you trying to put your you know what in my face. No. Can't do it, dude.
Are you talking about prison rules, Mike?
Can't do it. I'm just talking about wrestling in general. Never one of my favorite sports. I had a wrestling coach in high school come up to me and go, man, Mike, you'd be great at like 130. And I'm like, dude, don't even come near me. Get away from me. I am a track runner and a basketball player. Get away. I am not rolling around on the floor with another guy. No.
I'm the exact opposite of that. We moved to Pueblo for like a year when I was like 6 years old. And my dad's like, hey, I got you signed up for wrestling. And he like literally goes and just drops me off. I never wrestled before in my life. So there's kids from like 5 years old to like 15 years old there. And yeah, dude. So that was my introduction to wrestling. And I was a kid. So they decided to like beat the tar out of me for a couple of hours. But I kind of fell in love with it. I got to be honest with you, man. It
Nice.
was fun. Yeah.
Well,
but yeah, no, it was
not my cup of tea.
It wasn't my idea.
All right, in the NBA, they still have to figure out who's going to win these awards. So, a couple of the awards that people are talking about, of course, MVP. All signs are pointing to, of course, Giannis, probably the guy that's going to take away with it. But a lot of people still think that LeBron James, because of the season he's had, along with the season that the Lakers have had, he should also be a guy that to be considered for the MVP. If you guys had to pick an MVP, because obviously all three of us kind of think that we're probably not going to see an NBA season, where it left off, who do you think should win the MVP?
I don't think anyone should get it.
Think they should vacate it?
Yeah, no awards this year.
Brandon?
I just don't. I'm with Chris on that too. You got to. I mean, I just don't feel you can sit here and name names, talk about guys that were leading the league in scoring in several different offensive categories and stuff like that. But I mean, honestly, this is weird times. We're not even going to complete a full season right now too at the same time. So I'm with Chris. Just vacate it too, because honestly, you can't sit there. I look at it too, not just a regular season award, but I know it is. But when you get in the postseason, a guy that can carry his team, put his team on the back, and get to the NBA Finals and do what he's supposed to do and get the Finals MVP award. We've seen guys win regular season MVP and the Finals MVP, and without a season now, it's too hard to tell.
I think with part of this too, though, I think part of this is a money thing too. Because if you win this award, it's in your contract, you'll get extra amount of bonus, whatever. So I think the awards are going to get handed out regardless. I really do.
What about just letting LeBron have it? They're in first place.
No, I think Giannis.
And I love Giannis earned it, but we haven't seen anything in the play. He hasn't won a championship yet. So just give it to LeBron.
But you never know. This could have been the year. This could have been his breakout year. That's another thing that's got to sting for a guy like Giannis to be like, Jesus, man, we were right there. And I mean, the Bucks weren't squat until this guy got there.
Well, and the Raptors are nipping at their heels still this year. So even without Kawhi.
Sure. It would have been interesting to see how it played out. Rookie of the year, of course, Ja Morant from Memphis. And oddly enough, Zion Williamson was getting a lot of votes. I don't think he would have won. I think it's a runaway with Ja Morant. But, if the season would have continued, Zion maybe would have had a little bit better argument if he would have continued to play and grow the way he was, because when he came back after that injury, I'll tell you, man, that kid, there's a reason that everybody and their brother wanted this kid on their team. I was praying that the Knicks were going to get that first round pick. I wanted them to get that lottery pick, and they didn't get it. This kid is a phenom, and he's going to be around for a long time. And he's Shaq-like, but at the same time, I love the fact that this kid can drop back and shoot a few threes, and make them with no problem. I think if the season would have continued the way it was going, he would have had an argument, but I still think Ja Morant would have probably won.
I think, it's sad Ja Morant's not in a bigger market.
I know.
Because he's amazing to watch, and you still don't get a lot of him on SportsCenter or when you're watching highlights, because most of their games are kind of irrelevant at this point.
Yeah.
I think the thing about Zion, Zion is the main reason the NBA doesn't want to go directly to the playoffs. Everyone wants to see him play.
Right.
This is a big deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not having him play in any NBA games for the rest of the year is sad. And so I think he's one of the main reasons the NBA hasn't started yet.
It's a good point. If RJ and I really wish that New York would have tried to find a way. I wish we could have gotten Ja Morant. It would have been great instead of taking RJ Barrett. Don't get me wrong. I like RJ. I think he's a great talent. I think he's helped that team out even in the rookie capacity. But Ja Morant is just such a better player, man. And right off the cuff, RJ's that guy that's going to be better and he's going to get better. He kind of had some hiccups, but it is what it is.
Do you know who he reminds me of?
RJ Barrett?
Yeah, Scottie Pippen.
He kind of reminds me of Penny Hardaway.
Sorry to hear about your car accident.
Yeah.
That's
Not
a good one.
Mary. He kind of reminds me of Penny for some reason.
I just think he's going to get better as the years go, and I think we'll see what he is in 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what I just said. He's definitely going to be that. He's that long-term player that you want. So, all right, y'all, keep it locked. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, Robert Littal from BSO and from TMZ Sports. We're going to talk to him. Don't go anywhere. Keep it locked, y'all. Due to recent events with COVID-19, Liberty Tax now can do your tax return remotely. Give them a call at 866-871-1040 or visit them online at libertytax.com. Type in your zip code to find your nearest Liberty Tax office today. That's 866-871-1040. Liberty Tax. Where you do life, they do tax.
Having car problems? Maintenance coming up on your vehicle? Don't gamble your money away at other mechanic shops. Come to All Service Auto. At All Service Auto, you get the quality workmanship and parts that you demand. Professionals at All Service Auto strive to make your experience the best you've ever had, from beginning to end. Everything from engine replacements to tire rotations. All Service Auto can get your vehicle back on the road and driving like you want it. No job is too big or too small. All Service Auto works on all makes and models, making them your one-stop mechanic shop with affordable prices and customer service that is leaps and bounds above the rest. Make your first choice All Service Auto, located at 3455 Shelton Loop, right near the intersection of Platt and Shelton. Call to set up your next appointment at 719-573-0292. Taking care of vehicles and the people who drive them. All Service Auto. Call now, 719-573-0292. All Service Auto.
Are you looking to get away this summer? Give Venture Travel and Tickets a call at 719-357-7510. Whether you're looking for airfare, hotel, car rental, or even all-inclusive vacations, you need to contact Venture Travel and Tickets at 719-357-7510. Book your vacation today with Venture Travel and Tickets, the best way to get away.
Adult Youth Swanson Counseling is a licensed and accredited OBH treatment facility providing people services in the criminal justice system for over 6 years. Adult Youth Swanson Counseling is located on 1826 East Platte, on the corner of Platte and Union, where the counselors are not only licensed and accredited, but also have life experience. They offer court-ordered DUI classes and any mandated court-ordered treatment. Use the promo code RADIO and pay only $20 for your initial intake fee for level 2. Adult Youth Swanson Counseling, where we help you feel better so you can get better and live a successful life.
Blaze one for the nation.
KCBR AM Monument, K253AH Colorado Springs.
It's crazy, you heard me?
The new Blazing 98.5.
Welcome back to the Sports Guy Mike Show right here on KCBR 98.5, 95.7, AM 1040. We're also live on sportscaster.com as well as Facebook Live. Joining the show, a friend of the show, I'd like to say, and also want to congratulate him on TMZ Sports over on FS1, and he is also the founder and editor over at Black Sports Online. Welcome in, Robert Littal. What's up, Robert? How you doing, man?
Hey, how you guys doing? Good morning. I hope everybody's safe and sound.
Yeah, for sure, man. So lots going on, not just in the sports world, but in our world, in our everyday world. And I've been following Black Sports Online. Great stuff you guys have going on over there, and especially on TMZ Sports. But, you know, I brought you on because I definitely wanted to talk to you about sports and what's going on with the, with everybody trying to come together and trying to find a way to have a voice together against the injustice and what's going on, especially after George Floyd's death. So from what you've seen, are people in sports with big names starting to come together and actually trying to use their platforms to get the word out and try to make this more peaceful than it's been in some of the cities so far?
Yeah, I think you have kind of two levels of athletes that are kind of handling this. You have those who are on the ground, like, Steven Jackson, who is really trying to be out there and make sure, things are justice is being served, protecting the protesters, using his fame and his voice to talk directly to the people. And then you have other athletes who it's a different way, but, they make their statement, their PR statement via Twitter or Instagram. and things like that, just to let people know that they are at least aware of what's happening, not burying their heads in the sand. And then you have, other athletes where they're maybe not as polished and they're just, telling their thoughts raw, on social media, things like that. So I guess 3 different, kind of versions. I think the most important thing is like I said, you don't want to bury your head in the sand, especially in the NFL and the NBA, where the majority of the athletes, are Black. I think even just by acknowledging what is happening, that helps, because that's going to get media coverage. People are going to talk about it. Patrick Mahomes, one of the biggest quarterbacks out there, biggest stars out there. I mean, he didn't really say anything. I mean, he just kind of the regular standard stuff.
Sure.
But it's on ESPN. It's on all of the the radio networks, all the TV networks. That helps just to get more coverage like that. So I think, once again, it's better to say something to say nothing. And there's still a couple of guys that haven't spoken out that I wish would, but you can't force people,
Sure.
to do it. But I would say by and large, a lot have.
Like who, Robert? Who do you think that should be speaking out?
Well, let's say someone like Cam Newton. I haven't heard from Cam Newton or anything like that. Lamar Jackson. And for Lamar Jackson, I know he's young, and I know maybe there's some people in his ear saying, "Hey, you don't want to get political," and things like that. I know it's a tough thing to kind of dip your toe in, because once you go in, it's like once you're in the ocean, you can't get out. So I mean, but you would just, like I said, you don't have to go strong. I understand that you don't have to go super hard. I understand that, you're trying to balance your fan base's marketability or whatever. But, man did get murdered, in the street in broad daylight. Say something, say that, your prayers are to the family, or if there's anything that you could do or anything that you can help, just saying something is definitely better than just, hey, let's look on Instagram. I'm working out some more. Here's my 6-pack abs when you know all of this stuff is going on.
Right. He's Robert Littell from BlackSportsOnline.com, as well as one of the co-hosts of TMZ Sports over on FS1, joining the Sports Guy Mike show. Robert, who was the most surprising athlete to come out and make a stand that you've seen so far?
Without question, J.J. Watt.
Yes.
Without question, J.J. Watt, just the Captain America himself, who normally does not, if it's a flood or a hurricane or a natural disaster, he was right there, no problem.
Right.
We'll make sure he'd be right in the forefront. Normally, if it has anything to do with racism, prejudice, taking the knee, Kaepernick, he stays far away from that. He's very much, on the flag and the cops and all of that stuff. So first off, shout out to the reporter that actually asked him the question directly, because half the time that's part of the battle. They just won't, ask him to say anything. But when they did ask him, I felt like he was going to make a very blasé, type of answer. But no, it's disgusting, and it's not defensible and stuff like that. And when you see J.J. Watt say something like that, I think, what I think it helps with is a lot of athletes are scared. They don't want to do, they don't want to say anything that's going to mess them up. But if you see J.J. Watt say it, I think it makes it a little easier. It's a trickle down effect. And say, well, J.J. Watt said it, maybe I can get in on it, as well.
Yeah, I think that I was thinking the exact same thing. That's why I asked you, because I wanted to see if I was the only one that thought that. I was really surprised by that. There's a lot of players that have come out, like you said, on Twitter and stuff like that. But what do you think that maybe Roger Goodell could do something other than lend a few words? Are there commissioners that maybe need to step up and get involved as well?
I think the big difference is when you don't have the type of reputation where people don't believe you, you can't just put out a statement. Roger Goodell, get up off your couch, put a mask on. I don't know where Roger Goodell stays at, but if it's in D.C., if it's in New York, obviously stuff is going on. Get off your butt, go down there, talk to people, do something. I mean, I know the NFL has offices down there. Go out.
Oh yeah.
If you really think, the Dallas Cowboys make a statement, where's Jerry Jones? He can get out there in Dallas. There's a lot of stuff going out there in Dallas with the Cowboys. Go out there and do something. I think when your reputation is a little shaky, the only way people are going to believe what you're actually saying is not just for PR, is if they actually see your face. You're actually talking, to people. You're trying to understand, what's going on. You're putting yourself in harm's way.
Sure.
And, it's real easy, like I said, to make a statement, sitting in the offices and our comfy chairs and all of that stuff, but to go out there on the front lines, like I said, like a Steven Jackson or Jaylen Brown, you see J.R. Smith out there. I mean, to me, that's a totally different level of like, hey, Jaylen Brown said he drove 15 hours to go to a protest. I saw Mark Cuban out in Dallas. Like, that's what I mean. Like, people will take you more seriously and feel like you really care if you take the time out to be out there with the actual people.
Yeah, you have to back it up with action. Without the action, it kind of falls on deaf ears. Something, Robert, that the three of us have talked about even today is we're trying to figure out which professional sports is going to come back first. There's still a lot of if this happens, then this will happen. The NHL seems like they're close. They're still waiting on some hub cities to figure out how they're going to do that. The NBA is still clamoring, trying to figure this out. In your opinion, and from what you've seen, where would you put your money? Would it be on the NFL? Would it be on the NHL? Who do you think comes back first?
Well, I think the NBA is trying really, really hard to get back and finish their season off. And just so they can at least maybe get a champion. I think if you're talking about full blown stadiums, trying to get fans in, trying to have as regular of a season as possible, I think the NFL is going to do whatever they're going to do to get that done.
Sure.
The majority of the NFL owners are Trump supporters. Trump is like, hey, I don't care if a second wave come, we're not shutting down the country. Again, I think some of the NFL owners have that same type of mentality that, regardless if they have the most players, the most actual personnel that has to be in a closed, kind of environment, they're willing to sacrifice, maybe some players catching the virus to get their season done because they make so much money with television. I think the networks who are reliant on the NFL, if you really think about it, when it comes to their fall lineup, Fox, ESPN, CBS, and even NBC, would be willing to turn a blind eye as long as that those screens are on. I mean, it's the same networks like an ESPN that almost let Dana White just do whatever the hell that he wanted to do, even though he didn't have testing and everything in place, and the California governor had to get involved to make sure to stop that. So, but then the next week they made sure they had an MMA fight where Guy I is basically hanging out, which I'm sure is not conducive to keeping away infections and things like that.
Robert, are you a little bit disappointed in the way the Major League Baseball's handled all this?
I mean, Major League Baseball hasn't handled much of anything great in a very long time. You saw how they handled the Astros situation. As far, I think what people understand is like, look, most of the time, for whatever the reason, fans normally goes with ownership when it comes to money and stuff like that. Never really understood why, but they do. But in this case, I mean, they're looking at it like, most owners in general are billionaires. I have a lot of money. So they're telling I understand telling pay cuts, and if you're doing prorated seasons and things like that, but you tell somebody that's making $30 million, they're only going to make $6 million. It's like telling us if we're making $50,000, you're only going to give us $15,000 over something that we have no control over. When these owners are still getting bailout money and all of this stuff. So I saw that they came to some sort of agreement. But it's Major League Baseball. I think it's detached, from what's really the hip and cool sports that's out there now. It's antiquated, and I think you're kind of seeing that in the way that they're trying to handle things.
Robert, after 9/11, we turned to sports to kind of help us, get through a tough time in our country too. At the time, baseball was such a integral part of that. The NFL. I mean, with what we're going through right now, and when you see the protests going on, and I'm all for the protests, but I'm not for the rioting. I think people are just taking it a little bit out of proportion. Do you think professional sports needs to come back at all in times like this, or are we just going to kind of sit around and just kind of wait?
Yeah, I mean, I think that everybody would want sports back. So, I mean, we're all sports, people. We all work in sports media. I think we would like everything, back, to normal. I think the main difference is, with 9/11, it's a singular, event. So, the next day, if you want to go to Target, if you wanted to, go get your haircut or whatever it may be, go to the beach or whatever, you could actually do that. So it made it kind of easier to just hop right back into like escapism. What can I watch? What can I do? With this, like I would like to, I'm out in California, but I really wanted to go to the Raiders stadium. Like they again Monday Night Football game. I'm like, stadium looks really cool. And maybe by then they're letting some fans in, but there's a hesitation on my part because I don't want to get infected. I don't want to infect my family or anybody else in that regard. So I think sports definitely plays a part of healing. But I think this is a different type of situation in the sense that as 9/11, someone attacked us that's not from America.
Here, right.
This is foreigners, these are terrorists, right? Right now it seems like America is fighting, itself, which is a scary, thing actually, when people are talking about putting the military on American citizens. I mean, I think we're in it. So we're kind of like, we're just in it. But if you really take a step back and you think about that, that's what we always criticize these other countries of being, that they're hostile towards their own people and stuff. And that's inhumane. And then you look around and it's happening, to us in our major cities. It's really scary. And, kind of makes sports seem small in the grand scheme of things with this stuff going on.
He's Robert Littal from blacksportsonline.com. Make sure you go check him out. And he's also one of the co-hosts over at TMZ Sports on FS1 Monday through Friday. Hey, Robert, thanks for coming on, man. It's great to see you. Hope you and your family are doing well, and we look forward to talking to you soon, buddy.
Thank you so much. You guys have a great day. And like I said, stay safe. Be careful out there. I mean, it's coming on all angles. We got military, we got viruses.
Yeah.
The aliens probably coming down a little bit, so be careful.
Yeah, for sure. You too, brother. Take care, man.
All right.
There he is. Robert Littal, y'all. Hey, good stuff.
Yep.
So before we get out of here, obviously a couple quick things that we were talking about. We were talking a little earlier about what a lot of these guys can do, what these celebrities, athletes, what have you can do. And I have to take a second to kind of give a shout out to somebody that everybody likes to step on because they think he's a jerk and he doesn't fight right and everything else that they have to say about him. But Floyd Mayweather offered to pay the George Floyd's funeral. And he said, I'm following my heart. And on TMZ Sports, if you go and look, there's an $88,500 check made out for that memorial, for that funeral, and it's made out for George Floyd's funeral services, and it's from Floyd Mayweather. I just had to get that out there. What do you guys think about that?
I love that, number one. And it's funny because I'm going to say the whitest thing ever. I have a bunch of friends that are black, and I'm like, I'm with you 100%. And I even asked when I was golfing with Saturday, his name's Dijon. I was like, what can I do?
Right.
Like, I'm just a private citizen. What can I do? Because I'm with you. Like, what can I do to help? And I just think when you see guys like Floyd Mayweather Jr. doing stuff like that, is he a D-bag? Yeah, but he has a heart.
Right.
Like, not everybody is bad. Right. And this was amazing for what he did.
It was amazing. And Chris, I before Brandon, I'll let you talk about it. I just got to say, that's what we want to hear. That's what black people want to hear. They want to hear white people say, hey, man, I don't know what to do, but what can I do?
Yeah.
Right.
Tell me what I can do to help you because I'm with you. I got your back. This is not a black and white thing. This is a us together thing. We need to be concerned about this. We, not black people, we need to be concerned about this because it is a concern. Because, it can't just be black people being mad about it. Everybody's got to be mad about it. Black people, white people, yellow people, it doesn't matter. Everybody should be mad about this. So I want to applaud you for saying something like that to a black man because that's what we want to hear. We want to hear that you want to be involved. It doesn't matter that you don't know. Just act like you care and give us something to give you. Say, okay, you want to help us? Come march with us or come do this or whatever the case may be. So that's a step in the right direction. And people talk about, oh, we got to get everybody together and do. If you can work on one person at a time, that's going to make all the difference in the world. one person at a time. It's impossible to grab thousands of people and go, come on, understand what we're trying to. It's not going to happen. But as a black person, if you can go to one of your white friends and say, look, man, why don't you help out by doing this? Or, wait for somebody like Chris to say, hey, we want to help. We don't know how to help. Tell us how to help.
Yeah.
So that's huge. And Floyd stepped up, obviously, and paid $88,000 for his funeral. Brandon, what do you think about that?
Tremendous job. I love what Floyd did. Like Chris was saying, he's got kind of a guy that has a bad rap, out of the ring too as well. But I mean, honestly, man, he did what his heart told him to do. And I'm with Chris on this too, man. When you start talking about this, I was having a conversation with my wife this morning, and I've got to go back and talk to young students about this, high school students, when we resume school year coming up in August, if we get to go back in person, and I teach history. So I talk about the important steps and the important milestones that Dr. King made, even back in the civil rights movement too, at the same time. So with this comes very delicate conversations, but at the same time, I'm with Chris. What can I do? Because to fully understand the situation, you have to ask questions. And if you're willing to ask questions to find out answers on how you can help, that's the best way to approach this. And I think, look, Mayweather, kudos goes out to him. Honestly, this is a situation we're going to talk about, for a long time. But look, as I told Robert there, I'm all for the protest, but man, let's protest in peace. And let's keep the riots out of it too at the same time.
Yeah, I'm with you. And you and I talked about this yesterday. It infuriates me.
It
infuriates me to watch people break down their own community. I said this yesterday, and I'm going to say it again. I've heard people say this, and it makes me absolutely nuts. Oh, that's a big box store. Yeah. They won't miss it. It doesn't matter. Okay, so somebody in that community, a legislator in that community, helped get that big box store into your community to increase freaking e-commerce, get jobs for people in your community, and you're wrecking that store. Now those people in your community that had jobs there don't have jobs now because there's no place to go to work. So you're just breaking down your own community by doing that. Don't tell me that, oh, it's just a Kmart, who cares? Or, it doesn't matter. Stop breaking down your own community. You're just hurting your own infrastructure and your own people. And the problem is the people that are doing that are the people that don't give a you-know-what anyway. Those are people I don't associate with anyway. Black, white, yellow, or green. It doesn't matter.
So I have a guy I know, he's a black business owner in San Diego, and he had his window destroyed, and it was a bunch of white college students going around because he was out in front. So, we don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? Just let's be civil, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. It's like, you want to know what to do, stand up. If you have a chance to go and be at a town hall meeting or something of that nature, go there. Show support. If you're trying to figure out what to do, that's the best way to do it.
Yep.
And we have an unbelievable platform right here, fellas. This is another reason why, and you guys know I don't like bringing this stuff in because this is my escape. Talking about sports is my escape. I don't want religion. I don't want politics in this thing. But this is something that is, you can't ignore it. It's impossible to ignore it. And, for guys like you, I commend both of you, for wanting to know how to help. And that's the first step, man. Again, I don't know how many times I got to say this. It can't be just black people mad. We can't be the only ones mad about what happened to George Floyd. Everybody needs to be mad about it. So, all right, fellas. All right, great show today. Thanks to Robert Littell for hanging out with us. Shout out to Wayne Brady, turns 48 today from Let's Make a Deal. Very funny guy. Dana Carvey. Dude, you guys know this guy is 65 years old?
Church lady.
Church lady is 65. Garth from Wayne's World.
Oh, yeah.
Can collect Social Security.
Wow.
I'll be honest. I saw him about 3 weeks ago on a special. The guy looks great for 65.
Do you remember when people used to get him and David Spade mixed up when David Spade first came out?
I know, and I don't know how people did that. It's ridiculous. The Beaver. That's right. Leave It to Beaver star Jerry Mathers celebrates a birthday. He is 72 years old today. And
a name that would never fly on network television today.
I know, it would never. Drummer of the Rolling Stones, Mr. Charlie Watts, turns 79 years old today. 19 days until Father's Day, 32 days until Independence Day, 94 days until Labor Day, and 100 days until the start of the NFL season. Guys, anything you want to say to the nice people before we get out of here, Brandon?
Hey, man, just let's figure something out. Come on, owners. Come on, players. Give us a professional sport we can turn our attention to. Let's not wait for the NFL. Get your head out of your you-know-what, and let's put some pen to paper. And, hey, return to play protocol. Be nice. I don't care what format you do it. Let's just put some guys in some uniforms want to play. Let's go play.
For real. Chris?
Mike, just thanks for having me on today. And also about the sports, we've gotten great at talking about no sports. So, like, does sports really have to come back? Let's be honest.
We're getting pretty good at this, right? We're getting pretty good at this. All right, y'all. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. We'll talk to you again, same bad time, same bad channel tomorrow, right here on the Sports Guy Mike Show. And as I say around here all the time, don't sweat small stuff. Right here. See ya.
Blaze one for the nation.
KCBR AM Monument, K253AH Colorado Springs.
It's crazy, you heard me?
The new Blazing 98.5.